All right, what's up, Dragon Brood? We're going to be having some fun today because it's time for some Abzan Superfriends. Mostly because we got some new Planeswalkers that fit perfectly in this deck, as well as some other cards that fit perfectly in these colors, and they happen to work for a control pile. And overall, I'm hoping these games don't take too long and we should be able to generate enough tokens to beat the opponent down, but we're going to start with some Requiting Hex because it's cheap removal, so why not? Of course, some Get Loss, and we have some Rest in Peace, which doesn't really do a lot, but there are some graveyard decks we don't want to have to mess with, so it kind of helps with those scenarios. We do have some Silver Coil Charm, as it does get rid of early things, could also gain us some life if we need to, and can pump a token in a pinch. Witherbloom Charm is really good for letting us draw some cards, because we could just get rid of a token, as an example, or gain some life if we're up against it, but it does destroy a non-land permanent that's small, so another removal spell. We do have some Iron Crag, which is mostly here for fast mana to help us out. We do have some Ajani Outland Chaperone. This is probably going to be used as a removal spell a lot, but long term it will be making us some tokens. Withering Curse is a way to just get rid of some early things, but also be a board sweeper since we have enough ways to gain life. Speaking of which, we do have Ancient Cornucopia as a way to just get some life every turn. Maelstrom Pulse, which is a catch-all removal for us. And we have Day of Judgments, as well as Kaya and Professor Delian Fell, which shouldn't be a surprise. This is the best Planeswalker they've printed in a while. We do also have some Elspeth to double up those tokens whenever, or yeah, really, honestly, it's going to be doubling the tokens. I was going to say something else, but that's really what we're doing with this. And then we do have a couple of Decorum Dissertations, so we could draw cards, and hopefully gain some life if we already have Ancient Cornucopia out, so this doesn't hurt us as badly. And some Germination Practicum. This also speeds up the game a bit, pumping all those tokens. And we have Liliana Dreadhorde General as a way to just get even more bodies if necessary. And we have a single copy of Moment of Reckoning, which, if you've not seen this is 7 mana, so this is kind of the only type of deck where this card might work. But you choose up to 4, and you can choose the same one more than once. You destroy target non-land permanent, return target non-land permanent from your graveyard to the battlefield. So you can get rid of 4 things, or return 4 things, or some combination thereof. Of course, like always, if you're going to be buying any cards, check out our friends over at Tales of Adventure. It's toamagic.com, and you can use my code DRAGON, which is DRAGN, to save yourself 5% on everything. Also, I think if you get to them quick enough, they will have the stuff at Vegas, but you might only have one day for that. However, if you are going to be in Vegas, come say hello. I have some cool stuff with Moxfield, so you can get a cool thing if you collect all the Strixhaven insignias. So find me. I will have the Quandrix one. That business being done, though, let's go see if these super friends can get some super wins. Yeah, sure. This allows us to play the Iron Crag on 2, possibly Delian Fell on 3 to get rid of something. So that's not like the worst thing. Okay, I kind of like having that, actually. Maelstrom Pulse should be good. It does get weird if they just decide to shelter our fast mana, because I don't know what we do after that. Yeah, Weaver's a tough one. Oh, I was hoping to draw a Wrath. Or a Sweeper of some kind. I think we just pass. Sure. Kind of assumed something like that would be on the way. That's what we were waiting for. Hell yeah. Now, whether we get a land or not, we can get rid of the last remaining creature. Hopefully draw an untapped land somewhere along the way to work with Delian Fell. This is kind of the situation you have to get in against these mono-white Auras decks. If you don't find your sweepers, you want to pick off 2 or 3 early bodies, and that's usually all you need. But I would love an untapped land here. Oh, didn't get it. Alright, well. Obviously, I could have got rid of Seam Rip and then maybe went back-to-back Delian Fells, but if all they have is auras, they won't have anything to put stuff on. All right. We missed, though. That's unfortunate. Maybe I should have got our land back. Or our mana back. All right. There's a veteran survivor. This is where they're going to start finding their other cards. Nope, just a land. That's peculiar. They decided to save the other map. I guess they were seeing if we had a removal spell. Which, technically, we don't have the mana, so we can't really do anything. You never know what cards they have, too. I mean, this could be a case where they have shelters and they just don't have anything good to get rid of, so they're waiting for us to play something. Could also be defensive protective spells, right? So there's no way to tell. All right, well, they are going to have a Sarge Mage's Rescue now, so I guess we try, and if they just have one in hand already, they have one in hand. Hey, we found a land, like, way too late. All right, they don't have one. Fantastic.
I need answers, and you're going to help. You're dismissed.
And it feels like that was the only creature they had to put stuff on. So these have to be auras. Don't know if that means they're sheltered by ghost or whatever, but that was kind of the opening we needed. Now we just got to find more land. All right. That doesn't terribly help us, but I'm going to gain some life. Having a card would be nice, but I think this is okay.
This will be child's play.
And flying tokens block in pretty much every scenario in this matchup, which is very good. So the control deck being stuck at 3 land for a long time, still being in this, is really nice. The funny thing is, though, we know they have a Shards Mage's Rescue as soon as they find something. So unless it's a sweeper, our first bit of removal is going to do nothing. Okay, then. Well, yeah, that's kind of how that works sometimes. You get rid of a couple of the early creatures, and then you really don't have to do much. They have a hand that's unplayable. And now we were going to be able to take turn to start drawing cards, getting ancestral tokens, and eventually they weren't going to be able to punch through. So it's kind of the best scenario we could have been in there. Okay, this seems fine. Oh, I say that. I guess we're going to need to find sweepers. Yeah, if the opponent does that, I'm usually get the feeling they're just waiting on an Ouroboros next turn, right? Just what comes with it. We could also just find Day of Judgment and make our life easy. Oh, they're going real big. Okay. So they have 7 mana next turn. Man, our little, like, Withering whatever would have been awesome to get rid of their 2 tokens. Because I don't know what they're doing right now. Yeah, I mean, play a cornucopia. I mean, are we just getting rid of one of these? 5, 6, 7? I mean, I guess we don't get crazy hoofed or something. All right. I mean, I guess. I can't think of what else they're doing here. I mean, if it's just some other big thing by itself that doesn't make other tokens or whatever, we'll be able to Liliana. Okay. Interesting. They didn't do it to an untapped one. Why is that? See, when opponents make actions that seem a little weird, I start asking questions. And they're not going straight to the attack step, so it's like, what are we doing? Maybe this is just a crazy landfall thing and they just didn't get their big landfall pieces. Alright. This gets a little ugly if we play Liliana now. So maybe we Elspeth first. I don't know. They're down to one card. How do we figure this out? Because whatever's left will get counters. Yeah, let's just Elspeth it up.
Join the fight.
All right, something's gonna get trample. This is gonna be one of those things that gets worse before it gets better. All right, now that the card's out of their hand, I think we could deal with one big creature. Wait, they sacrificed their 2 tokens? Just to get extra triggers, I guess? I would have just sacked the other lands and split the counters around. Like, don't get me wrong, this is going to be a very big Llanowar Elf, but now we're in great shape. Yep, it's going to be like a 13-13. Yeah, cool. You got it. I'm not even mad if you try to attack an Elspeth. Because that's a waste of all the counters on the thing, so sure. Oh, that's so good. So we get the best of everything here, right? Because we could Maelstrom Pulse. Get rid of these. So now we don't have to worry about Trample. And then we just off one of their creatures?
Sit down. I'll handle this. Be gone from my presence.
Yeah, we're good now. They literally just have 13 basics. Emeritus. Sure, you get to return stuff and replay it. That's real. Which means we'll probably see one of the Ascensions. Yep. Emeritus, though, good choice for that deck. Very cool. I like what they're doing. As they say, I like the cut of your jib. Oh, darn. I lost my Planeswalker. Sacrifice 2 things. We'll get to draw some cards.
Don't speak ill of the undead.
There we go. Now the reinforcements are starting to show up. And we're at 19 life. So, and we've seen 2 of their biggest hits already, right? Where they had double Ascension into the planar engineering. They made about the biggest attack they could make. So, we can't be too bothered. Oh, an Ugin. All right. Well, maybe we're not in the driver's seat.
Preparation yields success.
Weird, though, because I don't think they have any other... So Ugin's in there just for card drawing, I have to imagine.
Heed my advice.
Because nothing else would make a lot of sense. All right, first year. Take action. Make a token.
Nobody bothering you? I'll make them.
I've got questions. You've got answers.
Make a token.
Axe that will meet your size belies your
Oh, there you go. That's what you were looking for. Yep, that makes sense. That should be exactly what they were looking for. All right, that's a big 8/8. Can we find a removal for it? I mean, phone is just spinning all their cards right now, but hey, that benefits us. They didn't put the counters in. You could have got trample on something else, opponent. Killed a planeswalker. So now we need like an Elspeth or a Maelstrom Pulse or I don't know, a billion different things.
Now it's personal.
All right, well, we didn't get there. All right, GG's. Ooh, no green mana with this hand's tough. This one's keepable, though. All right. Let's... I guess we're just going to be taking some damage early, huh? Telegraph to our opponents like, hey, we have an early play. Let's see what you got. I mean, we still need mana, obviously, so early plays be damned. That may not be enough to do anything. Okay, that's way helpful. This is 2 damage to target opponents. And I don't think your deck plays hasty things, so I'm going to take a chance here.
Congratulations. You have
Could just have, like, Burst Lightning or something, though. Which, if so, ah well, that's what I get for being greedy. Because I definitely could have just left this up. Alright, Mikey. We see you. Gain life.
never take growth for granted.
And then we'll just get rid of Mikey. Pass the turn. Yeah, Delian Fell's a stupid magic card. It is really good. Just a Llanowar Elf. Sure. You got it. Is this where I'm supposed to just destroy a Llanowar Elf? Nah, let's get rid of... I shouldn't even let him put the counter on it, actually. But it's alright. I'm going to draw.
Some lessons are painful.
Okay, let's go ahead and play the rest in peace, which I don't think will matter a whole lot. And then pass the turn. Leo and Mikey, you got it. That just searches a land? Sure. No! Yeah, we're just going to draw. I mean, we have board sweepers and everything else, so we're just trying to get there at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess we'll have 7 no matter what, so sure. Biotech specialists. Sure. Right now, the goal is just protect Delianfell, because we're just going to fire off this Moment of Reckoning anyway next turn, so it's not the end of the world. So as long as we can keep Delianfell alive, that's all we care about. Alright. I'm going to attempt to kill Mikey, because if after the combat they want to put counters on something, okay, they're going to protect it. Fair enough. That's fine. It's unfortunate, but kind of is what it is. We did what we could. 2, 3 things. All right, now we got to find our other business cards. Hey, look, more counters. We have so many sweepers and planeswalkers and like, come on, man. Ugh, really? All right, well, if we don't get there, we don't get there. Jeez, Atifa. Whoa. All right. Well, we kind of need one of our wraths at this point. Anything else, we just die, I think. All right, come get it. Hey, we found one. Still in it. Just barely at 6 life. Oh, no. Oh, that's rough. I guess the good news is the ooze doesn't do much here. Because there's nothing in graveyards. Thank you, buddy. Gain some life. Let's get us out of danger range.
This will only sting for a moment.
Cornucopia. Let's go up again, and then we'll try to minus.
I have life essence to spare.
All right, you have a Llanowar Elf. We will minus on a gamble.
For you.
I assume one of those is another protective spell, but that's fine. Sure. All right, that doesn't add any extra damage. That's okay. We've seen a bunch of mana, so it's like, where are the business cards at, you know?
The right spell turns poison to medicine.
Got another one? Nope. Oh, it did have a +1/+1 counter on it, so they can move a counter. As long as there's already counters on the battlefield, they can keep moving counters, which is fun. All right, Delianfell, you're going to eat it? Nope, not yet.
Amateur.
Damn, he calls him amateur.
Never take growth for granted.
All right. All right, now we're getting to the point we can almost kill them with just life drain. Tifa's gonna be big. That's fun. Yeah, at this point, we just drain them, right? It's like,
Only sting for a moment.
if you do crazy stuff with Tifa, you do crazy stuff with Tifa. If I lose, I lose.
Dispelling phantasms makes me feel good.
All right.
No victim goes unavenged.
You got 3 cards. If you can do 28, so be it. Sucks to suck. All right, that's 4. That's 8. And they didn't have anything to pump beforehand, so we probably are okay. I mean, there's also a couple of weird spells that still like double power. Like you could double and double. Yeah, sure. You go.
Research went nowhere.
Token. Go attacking.
Really can't silence everyone.
Drain you for 1. All right, cool. That felt like we had to work back from a lot to get back into that game. And the opponent had a couple of defensive cards that kept them in it, so fun build to play against, for sure. Oh, but just 2 mana, I don't think we could do it. Especially with no green in that hand. This will keep. It's a little bit tougher, though. I think we're going to gamble like that. And then we can at least charm while we try to buy time for the rest of this. I think that's what we want to do. Opponent took a long time to mulligan there, but that's okay. Probably means they also had some equally difficult decisions. Hey, guess what? More of this silly deck. I think this is one of the most popular decks just because it's budget friendly, I would think. Not a great number of rares or mythics. You just kind of feel like you have to have, you know, to be able to play it. That's tough. No lands. That hurts. Alright, we'll try. I don't think it's going to work, but... Ooh, excellent. They didn't have anything. Wow. Got away with one. That's big news for us. Helpful Weaver, sure. They're gonna Feather Flight, draw a card. Very interesting. I kind of want a Hex, but I think I want to just get Professor down. Actually, I could Hex and then Maelstrom Pulse. That's probably worth it. Decline, because I can get 2 life off the Maelstrom Pulse. Alright. So now they have to find a creature and something. And we've gotten rid of, what, 3 creatures to start with? Yeah. Lightstall Inquisitor, no! Alright. You got it. And it was just a land. Okay. So that's interesting. So now, if we get rid of the Inquisitor, they will have a land. And we can push this to 7. Then they would have to attack everything into it to put it down to 2. Ooh, we have not done good drawing, or done well drawing lands. That's our biggest problem here. Ooh. Too bad this is non-land. But, if we treat this accordingly... And this just says creature. Doesn't care what the parameters are on said creature. Alright, so we might have worked our way out of this.
Follow my instructions.
All right.
And you might survive.
And they're empty-handed, so now they're just top decking.
Yeah, I knew you were unprepared.
Technically, we kind of are too, but all right, that's enough for the opponent to scoop. What's wild is after all that, we were still at 20 life with just 3 lands. That's not how this deck wants to win most of the time. Oh, no. Man, this is going to backfire so bad. We have to mulligan. I wanted to keep it, but I couldn't justify that. We're going to put Kaya back. And probably could have kept Kaya and got rid of Get Lost, but just didn't want to get caught behind too many early weird situations. Go ahead and play the Iron Crag, and we'll just see what happens. Another Storm Chaser's talent, sure. Then we're going to bounce one of the talents. And, oh, no. It's usually bounce the talent so I can attack for 3. You know, that whole thing. All right, 17. Well, that's fun. Kind of useful. Pass the turn. What you got? Oh, they're going to destroy one of my artifacts? Nope, they're just going to opt. Sure. You opt again. So this is just prowess. Let's just play things, get bigger, bounce your stuff, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's fine. Gonna bounce our cornucopia? They are. Great. So we gain some life. So while they'll attack for 4, it's only a net loss of 2 for the turn, so we're okay with that. We can live with that. Now we just got to find our useful stuff. Like, that's the thing. Now we're kind of just sitting here. What you want to do? What does this do? Surveil, then draw 2. Sure. You got it. All right. Come on, Planeswalkers. Guess this is my punishment for, yep. Dang it. You know what, though? We have the mana. Let's just find the big, thing that destroys 4 permanents, right? That'd be even better. Let's just do that. Oh, they're debating if they want to get something back from the yard, if they want to use the map. Yeah, makes sense. I think they've already played a land, so there's that. Sure. Come on, deck. You know what? That's not bad, though. We could have done a lot worse. So we're at least not worried about the extra uses on the Storm Chaser's talent, unless they bounce it now. Stallion, sure. All right, now we need a board sweeper. Day of Judgment would be the answer. I'd really appreciate it. That's not great. I think we still lose. Because the best we can do is gain a life, go to 7. Pretty much any 2 spell. Because I can already... Yeah.
You will not hurt my wards.
Yep, we drew a lot of mana. And not much else to go with it, unfortunately.
You will harm no one.
Yep, we're just dead. Man, we really didn't play much. We drew a lot of land and kind of just sat here. Sometimes that happens, though. Even without drawing cards, I don't think we missed a land drop. Yep. All right, GG's. We can move on. Yep, tough one. Yeah, that's a matchup. I think we have a lot of cards we can use to win. We just didn't draw any of them. Tough life. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. I mean, we have a lot of removal. Don't know if this is going to be a deck where those are good, but we'll have them. Duress. Boy, do we have choices. Playing red, black, blue. Okay. Interesting. That's what it took. So they must have a... I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Probably whatever it is doesn't die to a Silver Quill Charm, if I were guessing. Which is why they took the get loss. Would you like to destroy a land? Sure. Actually, you know what? Let's get white. Fortunately, we can pass the basics check. Okay, let's put this on... Let's put it on white, I think. I'm gonna have black, green... Like, no, let's put this on black. And then I'll just not draw white, because, you know, that's how things work. Nope, we're just 2 control decks staring at each other, doing a whole lot of nothing. Alright, well... They're already winning because they drew land. That's kind of the secret in all these matchups. Interesting. They don't want us to remove graveyards. Because that's not a card I think you'd be worried about countering. So that says a lot. I mean, really, none of this means anything if we don't find land. That's the biggest issue right now. I don't know if this is good or bad. The opponent's taking a long time to decide what card they want from the Northwind Avatar. Alright, they finally made a selection. Alright, well, don't have much choice. They knew we had the Maelstrom Pulse. We drew another one. They don't know that, but we'll see what happens. Alright, they have a Liliana.
Let us march into battle.
Granted, we also have a Liliana, but they have way more mana than we do. And anybody who's played Magic for any amount of time knows that if you're playing Control on Control, the person with more mana usually wins. Verdict Core, you got it. All right, I guess we just pass. What else are we going to do? I mean, opponent gets to play their cards and we don't. So, just kind of got to deal with it. All right, we'll attempt to remove this 2/2. I was gonna say, depending on what their hand is, they might fight over that. I don't know. But I imagine if they have any counters, they're just gonna wait till we hit something significant. Otherwise, they don't need to spin cards on anything. Hey, look, we found land after forever. Here's the weird part. Like, we know they have counters, so we just make them play them, right? I mean, we're only going to have, like, 2 more turns after this, but...
My job is to teach. Yours.
They could also
is to
just
learn.
destroy the dude. It's not that big a deal. Wait. Oh. You need it to be a creature type.
This will only sting for a moment.
Nope, they didn't need it to be a creature. I have no idea why they activated that there. Very strange. Do you not have a way to deal with planeswalkers? That would be strange. Okay. I don't hate this. I'm also thinking still, why did you not want us to remove graveyards?
To your seat.
What is their game plan where that's important? Strategic betrayal, sure. So you want to get rid of my graveyard, but you don't want yours going away. Got it. Not sure what's going on there, but okay. We have double green, we have double white, I guess. We have a little more black, so let's go with that. Make some tokens. Gain some life. Mostly just to put Delian Fell at 5.
For granted.
Since what they're attacking with is 4, even if they find a way to get rid of our creatures. I think them getting a little aggressive to strategic betrayal there left the door open for us to sneak down Elspeth. Yeah, that doesn't do much. Could we just make more tokens on this turn? Ooh, they don't have any counters. Or at least nothing that deals with artifacts. I will... Are we going to draw a card? Are we at that point already? No, let's gain a little more life. Would you like to destroy a token? They would. Wow, Withering Tormented token. I guess we don't have many things they can destroy, though, so that kind of makes sense.
Turns poison to medicine.
If they don't do anything to Delian Fell here, we're going to minus and start the life gain train. They're going to try to get rid of our token. Yeah, let's go ahead and try. Mana value 2 or less. Sure. Oh, it says non-land. Whoa. That does not do what we want. Okay, let's sacrifice the token and draw cards. Alright. Okay, that'll work. So take your pick of where you want to attack. Yeah, we got 37 down to be 32 cards left when we get to our turn. That's okay.
I'm not impressed.
Dang, I'm not impressed. All right, Liliana time.
I am the master. This isn't your average zombie, but I do quite enjoy necromancy.
I can heal you.
I mean, feel free to remove creatures. We're just going to keep making stacks of them now. I guess the opponent figures, hey, best play in they got is to mill us, so do what you got to do. Neither of these matter. We're just going to double block one, draw some cards, single block the other one. Because the only way we realistically lose this now is probably by getting milled. And that's also going to draw us 3 cards because of Liliana.
Yours will be a fate work. Death is such an. You've reached
Also, what's her
an
minus at
undead
9?
end.
Sure. What's plus?
This is more enjoyable than slaying
Take my blessing.
Don't need a bunch of cards
I have
here,
life
so
essence to spare.
for whatever reason they were worried about graveyards, so let's just make sure neither of us have them. Oh, you know what? Could be because they're trying to slow mill us with the artifact that, like, for the mill the number equal to a number of cards in your graveyard. That could be it. I could see that being a thing. Verdict Core, sure. You got it. Alright, they're empty-handed. That should be ball game. Because then we'll just get an emblem.
Life and death are closely linked.
We'll gain life, and then attack. Wow, I didn't think we were going to come back. We were stuck at 3 lands for so long. Genuinely did not think we were going to win this, y'all.
The right spell turns poison to medicine.
Could just go with another Delian Fell, too. But that's alright.
And seize your destiny.
Oh, that is a good comeback win. Yeah, generally the opponent has the advantage in those games. I don't know how that went right for us. The only thing I can think of is maybe with Northwind Avatar, they went and got Liliana, and they didn't know we had multiple Maelstrom Pulses, and that could probably be the only reason we won that. But you got to play them to draw them. But yeah, that was crazy, crazy finish. But hey, trio of Planeswalkers, right? That's what this deck's trying to do. Yeah, so this was interesting. I had to mess around with a couple of versions before I got to a final version that we played for the video. And there were a lot of interesting things. We're trying to figure out like how many sweepers you really wanted, which ones you really wanted. Withering Curse was okay. I don't know if it's better or worse than having Split Up necessarily. I think there's an argument to be made for that, realistically. You maybe have to shift your mana to have a little more white in it if you do that, but, you know, that's a thing. I thought maybe we're playing too many basics as well. Maybe I'm supposed to go in on a couple more Verges. Maybe another Deathcap Glade, you know, just give us more versatility. But it only seemed like it came up to hinder us one time. So I'm not too upset about that. Everything else mostly worked the way we wanted. Unfortunately, the Practicum really didn't hit the way we wanted. Partially because I did have a couple of matchups against some mono black decks and control decks, which basically those were 50-50. I think it was 1-3, lose 3. So I didn't include them in the video because that would have just been more like 25-30 minute games. So just letting you know that up front. But some of that also was pilot error on a couple of those, on just gambling too hard on some extra cards when I probably didn't need to, stuff like that. But maybe more Maelstrom Pulses, because if you get into the control matchups, you are going to need to be able to get rid of loots, which I think are a pretty big deal. Rest in Peace is a tough one because there's matchups where you absolutely want the Rest in Peace against the Reanimator decks and such, but then there's also several where it's just not going to do a lot, right? Where we played it against the Auras deck, right? It just does nothing. Against the Landfall decks, for the most part, doesn't really do anything, right? There's a few different things like that where the card's not going to do much. So if you wanted to cut it and then just gamble on those other matchups, I wouldn't blame you at all, honestly. generally speaking, you do have a chance to beat those decks by being able to get a like Day of Judgment or whatever the turn after they reanimate anyway, unless they're playing hasters of some variety. So that's a way you could think about it, and then just cut the rest in peace. I'm going to leave them in for now. That's the list that'll be over on Moxfield. Y'all can always get deck lists over there. Obviously, links in the description. But if you wanted to take those out and play, like, I don't know, another Requiting Hex or something else that draws cards, I could 100% understand that. I'm going to be replacing something. This Practicum probably becomes another Maelstrom Pulse. I think that's more than reasonable. But something else that just makes your opponent sacrifice a card. Maybe we turn the rest in pieces into strategic betrayals. Like, that could be an argument to be made as well. I think if people wanted to do that, it wouldn't be the worst thing. But yeah, either way, this is the list. It was pretty fun. Lots of cool stuff you can do with it. The best part about this list, I would say, though, is that it is versatile enough that you can swap cards every which way you want. And there's something you're going to be able to do, right? Between the 3 colors, you can pretty much deal with everything. It's just playing it safe to where you can actually make use of your planeswalkers in the end. But that's all of you for now. We'll see you next time.